The iron gates of 27 Maple Grove loomed before me, their intricate design a testament to my family's obsession with displaying wealth. I pulled up in my modest electric car, a stark contrast to the line of luxury vehicles parked in the circular driveway beyond the gate. "ID please," the security guard said, though he knew exactly who I was. After all, I'd grown up here. "Marcus Thorne," I said quietly. "I'm here for the family meeting." The guard's hand went to his earpiece and I could hear my brother William's voice crackling through. "Don't let him in. Family only." "But I am family," I said, watching the security camera swivel toward me. William appeared at the gate himself, designer suit perfectly pressed, gold watch glinting in the afternoon sun. "Not anymore. Not since you embarrassed us at the shareholders meeting." "You mean when I exposed the company's environmental violations? When you tried to tank our stock with your tree hugger nonsense?" he sneered. "Dad was right to cut you off." I checked my phone, watching the real estate transaction status bar creep toward completion. "I came to talk about the rezoning notice." "Rezoning?" William laughed. "Good luck fighting City Hall. Dad's golf buddy is the planning commissioner, or did you forget?" Another notification popped up on my phone. The geological survey results were exactly as I'd predicted. My brother hadn't noticed my quiet land purchases over the past year, too busy flaunting his corporate title to pay attention to property records. "Last chance, William. Let me in to discuss this as family." "You're not allowed past these gates," he smirked, straightening his Italian silk tie. "Security, escort my former brother off the street. This is a private road." I glanced at my phone again. The property transfer was complete. 3 years of careful planning, investing my environmental consulting fees into strategic land acquisitions, had led to this moment. "Actually," I smiled, turning my phone to show the security guard, "there's been a change in ownership." The guard studied the document, his eyes widening. "Sir, according to this, the entire street, all 15 mansions including the gatehouse and security installation, now belongs to Greenlight Properties," I confirmed. "My company." William's smirk faltered. "What are you talking about?" "Check your phone," I said calmly. "The notice should be arriving now." Right on cue, William's phone chimed. His face went pale as he read the message. "This is impossible. You couldn't afford." "Turns out clean energy consulting pays well," I said. "Especially when you invest in the right properties, like the one sitting on the largest geothermal hotspot in the state." The security guard cleared his throat. "Sir, according to these documents, I now work for Mr. Marcus Thorne. And his first order is that the previous residents need to vacate the premises," I finished. "All properties are being converted into the state's first fully sustainable luxury housing community. Solar, geothermal, the works." William's hands gripped the gate. "You can't do this. Dad will." "Dad will what?" "Call his friend the planning commissioner?" I pulled up another document. "The one who just approved my renewable energy development proposal? Turns out clean energy initiatives look better for re-election than golf course deals." The front doors of the mansion burst open as my father stormed out, his face thunderous. Behind him, my mother and sister Victoria hurried to keep up, their designer heels clicking on the marble pathway. "What's this nonsense about property transfers?" he bellowed, waving his phone. "Some joke about Greenlight Properties?" I calmly pulled up the complete portfolio on my tablet. "No joke, Dad. Would you like to see the geological surveys first, or the approved development plans for the new eco-luxury community?" "Eco what?" Victoria sputtered, her perfectly manicured hands clutching her pearls. "This is Maple Grove, the most exclusive address in the state." "It still will be," I replied, turning my tablet to show the architectural renders. "Just exclusive for a different reason. Solar-powered homes, geothermal heating, sustainable water systems. We've already got a waiting list of tech billionaires eager to buy in." Dad's face turned purple. "You think you can just walk in and—" "I already have," I interrupted, nodding to the security guard. "Johnson, please open the gate. As the property owner, I need to inspect my new investments." William grabbed Dad's arm as the gate swung open. "He can't. There must be some legal way to stop this." "Like the legal ways you tried to bury my environmental impact reports?" I asked, walking through the gates for the first time in 3 years. "The ones showing this entire street sits on an untapped clean energy gold mine?" Mom stepped forward, adjusting her Hermes scarf. "Darling, be reasonable. This is our home." "Was your home," I corrected, checking another notification. "The official eviction notices have just been emailed." You have 30 days to vacate. Victoria's phone chimed with the notice. But where are we supposed to go? All my friends live on this street. Funny you should ask, I said, pulling up another document. Remember that worthless plot of land I bought downtown? The one you all laughed at during Christmas dinner? Dad's face went from purple to white. The old factory district? Now the site of the city's first carbon-neutral luxury apartment complex, I confirmed. Units are available for rent, though they might be a bit smaller than what you're used to. Another car pulled up to the gate, my chief sustainability officer in her hybrid vehicle. Mr. Thorne, the solar installation team needs your sign-off on the placement plans. William grabbed my sleeve. You can't just throw us out. We're family. Family? I gently removed his hand. Like when you were family 3 years ago. When I discovered the toxic waste dumping and came to you first, hoping to handle it internally. Dad stepped forward. That was business. This is different. No, Dad. This is exactly business. I pulled up the environmental impact assessment on my tablet. Your business decisions polluted groundwater across 3 counties. My business decision is going to help fix that, starting with this street. The sustainability officer cleared her throat. Sir, the press is requesting a statement about the development. Particularly about the previous owners being the same family that fought against clean energy initiatives. How much? Mom blurted out. To keep our homes. Name your price. I looked around at the mansion-lined street, each house a monument to excess. That's always been the problem, hasn't it? Thinking everything has a price. I turned to the security guard. Johnson, please escort my family to the gate. They'll need to make arrangements to remove their belongings within the 30-day period. As they were led away, Victoria turned back. Where will you live? Now that you own the whole street. I smiled, thinking of my modest solar-powered cabin just outside the city. Unlike some people, I don't need a mansion to prove my worth. 6 months later, I stood at the same gates, but everything had changed. The once imposing iron barriers now featured elegant living walls of vertical gardens. Solar panels gleamed on every roof, and the sound of gas-guzzling luxury cars had been replaced by the quiet hum of electric vehicles. My phone buzzed with a news alert. Maple Grove transformation. World's first zero-carbon luxury community becomes global model. The irony wasn't lost on me as I watched the construction crews putting final touches on the geothermal heating system. My family had kicked me out for trying to save the environment. Now they were living in rented apartments while their former homes became a blueprint for sustainable living. Mr. Thorne? Johnson, the security guard who'd stayed on, approached. Your family is here. They're requesting a meeting. I checked my schedule on my phone. They made an appointment this time? Yes, sir. Through proper channels. I found them waiting in the community center, formerly the neighborhood clubhouse where they'd once hosted their elite parties. Dad's suit looked slightly less expensive, Mom's jewelry more modest, and William had traded his Italian loafers for domestic brands. The place looks different, Victoria offered, staring at the living wall of plants behind my desk. Profitable too, I said, pulling up our quarterly reports. Property values have tripled since the conversion. Turns out people will pay a premium for homes that don't destroy the planet. Dad cleared his throat. Son, we've been doing some thinking. And some reading, William added, placing a folder on my desk. About your original environmental reports. The ones I dismissed. I opened the folder to find detailed analyses of corporate environmental impacts, compiled by William himself. You've been busy. I took some courses, he admitted, in environmental law and sustainable business practices. Started consulting for companies wanting to go green. Mom stepped forward. We were wrong, Marcus. About everything. Not everything, I corrected, gesturing to the thriving community outside. You taught me valuable lessons about power and change. Just not the ones you intended. Victoria spoke up. The apartment complex downtown, your carbon-neutral building? We've actually grown to like it. The community gardens, the shared spaces, it's different, but it feels more like home than these mansions ever did? I finished. She nodded, looking embarrassed. That's why I built it, I said. Luxury isn't about size or show. It's about living well while doing good. Dad took a deep breath. We've come to make a proposal. The downtown apartments, William continued. We want to help expand the concept. Victoria's been working with community groups, Mom's organizing sustainability workshops, and I've got investors interested in replicating the model. I leaned back, studying them. And what makes you think I'd trust you with this? Because we learned the hard way, Dad said quietly. When you have nothing, you finally see what matters. I pulled up a document on my screen. Funny you should mention that. I just received proposals for Phase 2 of the downtown development. We're converting more abandoned factories into sustainable housing. The project needs a community outreach team. Their faces lit up with hope. Entry-level positions, I clarified. You'll start at the bottom, prove yourselves like anyone else. No special treatment. We understand, William said. Do you? I stood, walking to the window. The sunset reflected off solar panels and green roofs, creating a different kind of luxury than the one I grew up with. Because this isn't about making money. It's about making a difference. Victoria joined me at the window. Like you've done here. Everyone said it couldn't work, sustainable luxury living. But you proved them wrong. No, I corrected her. I proved them right. Just not about what they thought they were right about. They said I didn't belong in their world. I gestured to the transformed street. They were correct. I belonged in a better one. One we had to build. I turned back to my family. Your applications for the community outreach team will be treated like any others. Submit them through HR. If you're hired, you'll report to the project manager, not to me. As they stood to leave, Dad paused. The family dinner this Sunday, at our apartment. Would you come? The balcony garden Victoria started. It's small, but the vegetables are homegrown. I thought about it. I'll have my assistant check my schedule. But Dad? If I come, we're talking about the future, not the past. After they left, I walked the grounds of what had once been a row of empty mansions. Now it was a living laboratory for sustainable luxury, proving that wealth and responsibility could coexist. My phone buzzed with another message, more investors wanting to replicate the model globally. I smiled, thinking of that day at the gate 6 months ago. Sometimes being locked out of one world leads to building a better one. And sometimes, the biggest luxury of all is proving that change is possible, one sustainable home at a time.